Macy's was next. The marching Rams got to see the department store that started the parade of parades over 58 years ago. From the food halls with the widest selection of produce, meats, and baked goods in the city, to the main floors of merchandise, the gang had the time of their lives. After Macy's, the Rams did a little more shopping, and then it was back to the hotel for getting ready for their evening at the theater. The marching Rams showed their stuff with their brisk walk down Times Square to the theater district and the evening performance of 42nd Street. The after-theater party brought more excitement as our group had the opportunity to try their skills on the ice.
Jim, what about it for the last 3 days?
It was time now to do a little reminiscing about the trip. Listen now as our heroes tell a little bit about their experiences in the Big Apple.
Once we got through the parade, the shows we've gone to see really were terrific. I think everybody's had a great time.
Any terrific. Thanks a lot, Jim. Begins with a V.
No, Bentel.
I knew it was something like that.
Right.
I was close.
Right.
Okay. What, as a parent, what about the trip? How do you feel about it?
Fantastic. We've had a fantastic time. I've enjoyed being with the kids. I'm very proud of them because they've just done marvelous.
Okay.
Let's say that again.
We'll try that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now, as a parent, how's the trip been?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I've been so proud of the kids. They've done so well, and we've just all had a very good time. We've done everything.
Okay, all right. Now, okay, Connie, what about it as a teacher? We've heard from the parents, we've heard from the chaperones. How's the trip been?
Very educational for the students and the parents and the instructors.
Outside.
Okay.
Oh, still, Kim. You a senior?
Yes, I am.
Oh, finally a senior. Okay, Kim, what about it? Here, last night in the Big Apple, how's the trip been?
Oh, it has been so much fun. I mean, seeing everything and it's great to see the city with your friends because I've been here before, but it's, a good experience with people and everything.
Okay.
Departure day started early, with packing and baggage having to be ready for transfer no later than 6 a.m. It seemed like we just got here, and now it's time to go. Listen now as band members express the sadness of having to leave the time of their lives.
Flee, fly!
Flee, fly!
A flee, fly, flow!
A flee, fly, flow!
Flee, star!
Flee, star!
Ah, kumalada, 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 flee, star!
Kumalada, 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 flee, star!
Oh, no, 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 no!
It's home again, and the realities of getting back to the day-to-day grind become apparent again. All in all, it was a super experience for all involved. The press coverage was super, and we thought we'd just show you a little of the super coverage from our local station.
One group leaving the Orlando area today is the Lake Mary High School Band. It has the honor of being asked to play in tomorrow's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in the Big Apple. News Editor 2's Lynn Wright and photographer Stacy Woelfel are traveling with the band and will give us that behind-the-scenes look tomorrow night on News Center 2. Of course, the parade itself can be seen here on WESH beginning at 9 tomorrow morning.
Only one Florida band had the honor of marching in a Thanksgiving Day tradition.
Members of the Lake Mary High School Band are in the Big Apple, and they strutted their stuff in the annual Macy's Day Parade. News Center 2's Lynn Wright and photographer Stacy Woelfel are in New York with the band.
This is what you saw while sitting nice and warm at home watching the parade on Channel 2. What you didn't see was this.
Keep your mouthpieces warm, keep your hands under your arms, keep everything warm.
The day for the Lake Mary High School Band started at 3 o'clock as they discussed plans for the big event. From the hotel across from Madison Square Garden, they went uptown to the staging area along Central Park. Here, the youngsters, tired and sleepy, stood in 30-degree weather for an hour and a half waiting for their turn to march in the Macy's parade. In front of the famous department store with my pal Bryant Gumbel looking on, the marching Rams strutted the right stuff for millions of Americans and you folks at home to see. They raised over $100,000 to make the trip to New York City. And in about an hour and 10 minutes, their work was done.
It was awesome. It was the best.
Oh, it's great. It's cold, but it's great.
It was a privilege that we could go and represent Florida in this parade.
It's like there's nothing that's so special in the world. I mean, you know, that's practically what a band lives for.
And I wish it wasn't over.
And after doing all that marching, the youngsters came here to Monteleone's for dinner. And now the remainder of the trip will be devoted to R&R, ripping and running all over New York City. With photographer Stacy Woelfel, Lynn Wright, News Center 2, New York City.
The Lake Mary High School marching band did its work yesterday. It's reaping the rewards today. The band gave it all it had during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade yesterday. Today it was time to have fun and refuel in the Big Apple. News Center 2's Lynn Wright and photographer Stacy Woelfel are right there to capture the fun.
First stop on the sightseeing tour of New York City, Horn and Hardart, the famous automat and cafeteria. The automat, for those who don't know, is sort of like a food casino. One-armed bandits that dispense coffee instead of silver dollars.
Oh, that's cool.
After grabbing a bite to eat, it's off to the United Nations, where Lake Mary High School band students get a lesson in sidewalk eating diplomacy. Heavy on the mustard, please. From here, it's a short trip into the canyon of tall buildings.
Now, this is Madison Avenue, a very elegant shopping avenue, and then, of course, the next is Fifth Avenue.
And no visit to the Big Apple would be complete without seeing the First Lady of New York, the Statue of Liberty. And here is where we send students, parents, teachers, and chaperones sailing off to sea. And in case if you got disoriented during all that traveling, just remember this, that New Jersey is over there, Staten Island is over there, Brooklyn is over there, Wall Street is back there, and photographer Stacy Woelfel and Lynn Wright are standing right here, Battery Park, News Center 2, New York.
Finally tonight, for the marching Rams of Lake Mary High School, the party's over and it's time to hit the books again. The youngsters, along with their entourage, arrived at the Orlando International Airport tonight. The band spent the last 4 days in the Big Apple. The marching Rams were the only Florida band invited this year to play in the 58th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. News Center 2 photographer Stacy Woelfel and reporter Lynn Wright traveled along with the youngsters on their trip of a lifetime to New York. Tomorrow night on News Center 2 at 6, we'll have Lynn's final report on their experiences.
Members of the Lake Mary High School band were back in class today.
Yes, they're back, fresh on the heels of their trip to march in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Of course, News Center 2's Lynn Wright and Stacy Woelfel went with the group to the Big Apple.
It's Monday, first day back on the job after a long weekend. And what question do you hear the most?
Hi, Lynn. How you doing? What you been up to the last few days?
Let me begin on Wednesday. The Lake Mary High School band takes off for New York City. Upon arrival, off the bus and into the hotel for the shortest night in the history of my life. 3 a.m. Thursday, up and at 'em for a pep talk.
Keep your mouthpieces warm, keep your hands under your arms, keep everything warm.
Then on to the streets for a 50-block march to Macy's department store, where NBC beamed the band's performance to Channel 2 and millions of homes across the nation. Let's see, that brings me to Friday, Band on the Run Day. Up one side of Manhattan and down the other. So much sightseeing at one point I told them to go without me. Saturday, the last full day in the city. And the Marching Rams show, no matter if it's ice or city streets, they are talented. And on this last night in the Big Apple, it's time to look back on the entire journey.
It's been a spectacular trip.
Oh, it's been fantastic. I've been so proud of the kids. They've done so well.
Very educational.
Oh, it has been so much fun.
And so as the moon starts to rise over the Big Apple, this reporter is a little sad, knowing that in just a few short hours, I'll have to go back to doing some real work. with photographer Stacy Woelfel, Lynn Wright, News Center 2, New York City.